Look, we turning conversation into application. This ain't for you if you can't handle deep communication. I see too many trying to teach when they need all the teaching. If you can't practice what you preach, then what's the point of speaking? Look, we thank the Lord for another season. Don't think they ready for you, Lee. I think them boys are sleeping. But we gon' hustle every hour like it's our last. Open up your mind, it's the converSAYtion podcast. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the converSAYtion podcast. I am your host, Leon Reed Jones, and this is the place where we turn conversation into application. My special guest today, man, we were both at an event supporting somebody. Shout out to Nichelle and all the great things that she's doing. But this guy was dropping gems. And I just thought it was so dope to see him just sharing all the wisdom in the game that he had. And something else that really made me want him to be on the show was just how he said, like, man, even if I never get a chance to be on the podcast, I still want to support you. And I think that's rare. Today, I got none other than Mr. Daniel Burnett. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
I love what you're doing, man. Just seeing people consistent, sticking through the confusion and the noise, standing after something is a great thing, man. Yeah,
man. Again, definitely glad to have you on. And so as we get through the podcast, something I always ask my guests is, if you had to title this chapter of your life, what would you call it?
Ooh, that's a great question. Unity. I'm going into my 7th month of marriage. I've met someone who has been a miraculous addition to my life. She's accelerated everything that I've done and aspired to do in every single way, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. So unity, man, just our ability to kind of get to know each other and see that alignment and actually be able to apply it and see it matriculate right before our eyes. And it seems like since we've gotten married, like I was telling one of my contractors, who have gotten married recently, the verse Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor within the Lord. And we are living proof of that, man. Like the Lord has knocked down doors miraculously ever since. Like it seemed like every obstacle we've found in our way has just been blown past, and it's things, it's not even like we can't even attribute our own skill. It's just literally been things that's inexplicable. And that's literally what it's been. So unity is definitely how I would describe this chapter in my life.
I love that, bro. And even when we were at the event, man, I just love how you were there supporting your wife, and just even how you lift her up now, man. That's dope. And I think just with you putting her out front and just giving honor to God for all that you have, like, because I think sometimes when you talk about being a believer, or even as we talk, off camera about, like, there's multiple ways to, skin a cat. And sometimes you can see people flourishing and winning and doing all the different things, and you can get this kind of misconception that, oh, they can't be believers if this is happening. They're going on trips, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just dope to see, like, even from afar, like, how God has blessed y'all, bro, and just how you're so verbal and vocal about that, man, because a lot of times people get so caught up more so in the blessing rather than the blesser. So it's just, that's dope to see, bro. And just kind of expounding on that chapter about unity, for you, in your eyes, what do you feel as though your wife has brought to you that maybe you didn't have before her?
Absolutely. I can answer that question without a thought. Just the application towards one goal and just having one vision and being able to knock towards that one vision. We wake up every day on the same page. We have meetings weekly to where we go over finances, we go over our books and things like that. And just being able, just coming from a position to where I did a lot of things as a lone wolf, or even in my times of dating, just kind of existing within my relationship, but I'm still kind of doing my own thing. This is my first time where I've had someone who has been on the exact same page as me and has the confidence, the wherewithal, and everything to actually contribute to everything that we decided we've done, and been able to follow my lead based on the vision that I have set and I've clearly articulated. And she just does a phenomenal job at making my life easier in everything that we're pursuing for each other. Yeah,
man, that's dope, man. That's just cool to me, because like just seeing that and hearing how like much respect and love and admiration you have, like that's like dope, man. It's like you will put yourself to the side and be like, no, this is, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's necessary, man, just because I know what I was able to accomplish on my own, and just looking at the comparison, like it's crazy, like what we've been able to accomplish. And you can look at the beginning of a relationship or even the start of marriage, like it's insurmountable, just the growth and the progress. And it's not even attributed just to finance, communication, just self-reflection, a lot of different things that you can metricize and things that you can't metricize too. I just noticed a huge difference, and I'm super grateful for it.
Yeah. So for you, what would you say when it comes to the bond that you guys have, the unity that you speak towards? What took that to the next level for you?
I think she was waiting on me. She was prepared to date with intention, but knowing that we in it for the long haul, because we both had been in somewhat serious relationships. It hadn't turned the corner for both of us, and I think we both wanted to be committed, but we had to make sure that it was the right fit. And once we knew that it was the right fit, it was like, okay, well, we here for the long haul. We had talked about marriage and things of that nature, but it's like a lot of people talk about stuff, right? It's like, but it's not real until it's actually real. And it's like, once we know that we were both in it for the long haul, it's like, okay, now we can do this. We sat down and we actually was very transparent about our personal finances and debts that we had, or things that we had to like smooth out from our past, from our college days and our younger days, stuff like that. And it's like, once we got to that point, it was like, all right, let's do this. Like now it's like, I'm willing to tell you what I make, and I'm willing to tell you what I got going on and all my personal vendettas and things like that, so we can kind of hit it together. Cause like when you boyfriend and girlfriend, is like the barrier to exit is so low. It's like I can piss you off today and you can decide to walk away. Divorces are a thing, but I told her before we got married, like, I'm never getting a divorce. But even beyond that, I guess it's easy to say with us being newlyweds, but even beyond that, it's just like, in order to leave, you have to get divorced. Right. So it's like, now that barrier to exit is so much higher, it's like, well, I know you're serious and you know I'm serious. So what can we do together? Yeah.
No, man, I love that. And then from just hearing you speak, it's like, as you constantly brought up about like, we in it for the long haul. I'm in this thing. So my plans is not to get a divorce. My plans are not to move to these, measures, because we've laid everything out on the table. We've talked about things, but we've also come together and said, this is how we're going to make sure that we get it done, man. So I love that, man. I love it for sure. And so from, again, seeing you and watching some of the stuff that you do, tell me a little bit about how your passion for cars came about.
Oh, man. So some people know this, some people don't. So my late cousin, Robert Traylor, he actually was out of University of Michigan, got drafted and got traded for dirt and whiskey. He was able to make a decent amount of money in the NBA. And so he was able to afford a pretty luxurious lifestyle. I was very, very close to him growing up. Really like his first son before he had a son. And he was able to drive luxury exotic cars and live a pretty lavish lifestyle. And it showed me that from where I'm from, west side of Detroit, Schoolcraft in Wyoming, it's possible for somebody like us to have nice things if you work hard and stay focused. And so that kind of lit a fire in me to want to drive nice things, right? And so back when I was just a year removed from high school, unfortunately, I was misled and I bought a car that was overpriced, significantly overpriced. I paid 24% interest, which is the state maximum. If you know anything about finance, that's literally like financial suicide. And so eventually that led to financial ruin, and I had messed up credit. I had a car underwater, X, Y, and Z, and I had to crawl my way back. And so from that, I found out that you could decide what car you bought. You didn't have to let the bank tell you what car you buy. And also that a car doesn't have to be a depreciating asset, right? Mm-hmm. And so based on my journey from having a repossession and my credit turmoil, I learned that I can drive the car that I want, mm-hmm. right? And it doesn't have to necessarily be super expensive to drive nice things. And once I found that out, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go get something that I love. And that's basically what I did.
Dope, man. Dope. And so now, knowing the knowledge that you have, or being able to find out the different things that you have over the years, is there like maybe something that you desire to do with cars? Maybe you want to go into your own business, or maybe teach a course about something?
Well, so I don't know if you know, but we actually launched a course maybe six years ago that I was featured in Yahoo Finance for. Dream Cars Auto Group, which is coined. The course was Dream Cars for Pennies, mm-hmm. which taught people how to buy cars at the bottom of the depreciation curve and sell them and basically own them at no cost. I like saying free, but mm-hmm. some people kind of confuse what free and at no cost is. So cars is just a resource. People who have wealth, people who like nice things, congregate around a commonality. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that nice cars is one of them. So I just use cars as resources. I like driving. I like driving fast. I like driving things that are engineered to be driven around the track and stuff like that. But as far as just the focal point of cars, just using cars as a resource to attract investors, to attract business partners and things of that nature.
Dope, man. Dope. I think that's cool, man, because I saw, like, when we followed each other, I'm like, oh, that's the first thing I saw. So you like, it reminded me of my older brother, because he like loved cars ever since he was a kid. So I just figured I'd ask you just about like where that came from, and like if you wanted to do more with that. But then there was also, you know, I know you heavy into real estate. So Absolutely. Where did that come about?
Yeah, so that also started in my roots too, man. So my great aunt, late as well, she built a pretty massive portfolio through the tax auction, and so she had me and my brother in the properties with her. She would buy a property. This is 2003, 4, 5 on up, when properties in the city where you can literally buy properties for as little as $1. And she was buying properties for $1,000-$2,000, and they were in pretty condemned condition, but we'd go in. And we basically renovate them ourselves. So at a very young age, I learned a lot of construction, learned rough-in plumbing, I learned carpentry, learned how to paint, things of that nature. So that kind of just seeing the lifestyle she was able to afford for herself through entrepreneurship, specifically real estate, kind of rubbed off on me. And it led me to learn how to buy property, and I was essentially able to buy my first property when I was 19. And from that point, just learning how to take little resources and become resourceful with them, because I never had money, things of that nature. I was a struggling college kid. But after I was able to have a little success in business and things like that and grow, learn how to make more with less, kind of led me to getting deep into to real estate.
That's dope, man. And so for you, like, obviously you were around this, you said it was a part of your upbringing, mm-hmm. and you learned skills.
Absolutely.
But from a moral standpoint, from a mindset standpoint, what are some of the things that you learned with being around real estate at a very young age? Like, what did that teach you?
I think it allowed me to differentiate myself from just people who only look at life as, okay, I grew up, go to college, get a degree, get a job. Anybody that knows anything about wealth, you know that you're not going to earn your way to wealth, mm-hmm. right? The system is set up for the people who work to lose predominantly, right? Mm-hmm. You have statistical anomalies, but for most people, the people who are punching a clock aren't going to be financially free. Mm-hmm. And so because of the combination that I spoke about earlier, the things that I was exposed to from my cousin, right? And the vehicle, right? So that was like the acquired taste, the nice stuff. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I need to figure out how to make this money. And it just so happened that I was put in my lap that had an example. I actually grew up in the house with my aunt as an example with somebody in-house as a real estate investor. So it's like, okay, well, I know what I want and this is how I go get it. And then I had to actually go and apply it. Yeah, for sure. So another thing that I always ask my guests, so the theme for this season is intentional clarity, right? It's one thing to get clarity for a situation, but you got to be intentional about it. So if God tells you something, right, you gave the example about how you and your wife, y'all had a serious conversation about, hey, this is what I've been through. This is my debt. This is your debt. But the difference was you guys were very intentional about the things that you were very clear on. So for you in this season right now, what is an example that you've been given intentional clarity and how did you handle that? Yeah, it's gonna sound so cliche. I promise I didn't come into this interview with this in mind at all, but just how we even came to get married. So we had a very, very small wedding. So I'll tell you the story. So I have a business partner, Adrian Jackson. I know you're gonna watch this. I love you, girl. So we were actually set. So we meet approximately bi-weekly, right? And she's also somebody that I purchased real estate with. But this particular meeting, we sat down to talk about acquiring our next property. And for some reason, it took a left turn. We got deep into personal stuff, probably the most personal we've ever gotten. And as I was walking out of her living room, she said, whatever you do about getting married, pray about it. And I realized I had never prayed about being married, right? And specifically being married to her, potentially being married to her, but just period. I've never asked God, is this my wife? So within the next 72 hours, I actually sat down and I actually prayed about it. So let's say this is a Friday. I prayed on a Saturday, whatever case may be, right? So I sat down on a Monday morning at my desk and I opened up my phone, which I'm not big on social media. I'm a firm believer in like creating more you consume. But I'm scrolling on TikTok and the first video popped up, said, don't wait to get married. Don't wait. He literally went into a whole spiel about not waiting X, Y, and Z. And I felt wholeheartedly in my heart that was God's message to go get married. So my wife was asleep. Funny enough, I woke her up. She gets ready to cry because she thinks I'm about to break up with her. So as I get ready to say this long drawn out response, at the end I say, I want to go get married. And so I call her mom and ask her because her father actually passed away. Rest in peace to him. So I feel like with her being the matriarch that I would be respectful and ask her for her hand. Right. And so she said, well, yeah, y'all can get married, but I got to go to work. So y'all can't get married today. So funny enough, we end up going to get our marriage license. I want to say that same day. And then we end up having a very small, intimate wedding, not even 48 hours later. And so just that alone, right? So I prayed and I asked God for a response and he gave it to me. And I feel like for the first time in my life, I was ultimately obedient because it was things in me that wanted to fight it, right? Just the readiness, right? But I was obedient and it just flowed, right? So like that was just clear. That was a message that I got and I acted on it just based off that. Yeah.
So you said something at the end that I felt that was very interesting as well. So like you said part of you wanted to fight it. And so like not even just you, but what do you feel stops people from being intentional about things that have been made very clear to them?
I can give you a long drawn out response, but I think the biggest and most important thing is lack of purpose. I think purpose is the ultimate determining factor about what you do with every single living moment of your life. And I think as long as you're stepping out of purpose, you can't get that synchronicity with intention because essentially that's what purpose is, right? leads you down a path of destiny, and it goes back to faith, right? Whatever the Lord has ordained to you, he gives us free will to do what we want. But when you're walking in purpose, you're walking in your intention within destiny to get to the point that he's predetermined for you. And as long as you out of purpose, you can't be intentional.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's another gem, man. We gotta make sure we clip that up. But man, I just listening to you, like your journey, relationship with your wife, the things that you've learned from the man that you have become and still becoming, like, man, it's dope to not just hear, but see from afar, because a lot of people, like you said, they don't walk in their purpose, or sometimes, people just walk in a lot of misconceptions, like, oh, if I'm this, I can't have this, right? A lot of times people sell themselves short because they feel as though this is how my life has to look if I do this, or if I want to do this, this is how it has to look all across the board. But I believe that you are an example, man, just like, because of all the stuff that you've endured, the things that you've grown to learn, the things that God has shown you, man, it just is another reminder that there is just always more than one way. And we shouldn't let our fears, our misconceptions stop us from walking in our purpose. So with that being said, for you, and you are very open about your relationship with God. So for you, what took your relationship with God to the next level to allow you to be able to say, hey, this is what I need to spend my time on, and this is how I need to be more intentional and things like that?
So it came in phases, right? So like I was introduced to God at a very young age, like many of us are, but I've had transcendent moments within my life that it's breaking up in phases. So the first phase, I lost my mom on Christmas. I was 13 years old. And it kind of reshaped everything about me because she was a great mother, but she did a lot for me. But what I didn't realize, she had prepared me for a lot of stuff. And at that point, my nucleus, my support system was decimated instantly. I had to do a lot of things on my own from that point. And the only thing that I could turn to is the Lord, right? I battled depression. I battled suicidal thoughts. I battled sheer darkness. My mom was my savior from a lot of things that she safeguarded me from, and that was no longer here. And the only thing that kept me from that was God and the game of basketball, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, man. First of all, condolences, man. And I resonate with that because I lost my mom in high school, bro. So I understand how that thing goes, bro. So, man, you said something that I actually heard in church a few days ago. Like, the pastor was like, sometimes, God has to do some things for us to put our full attention on him, man. Cause he was like, sometimes, the auntie or the big mama or whoever, they've been the ones praying and laying at the altar for you and doing all these different things. And then when they're gone, it's kind of like you said, like, man, what do I do? Because for so long, I knew who God was. I knew who the Lord was, but I had my mom to go to him for me. Right. And then you have that experience where now you deal with a tremendous loss, a tragic loss. But in that, you learn to turn to your Heavenly Father, and he shows you all of these different things, and he, keeps you and shows you the path and the direction to go to, man. I think that's beautiful, bro, because it not only kept you, but it gave you stronger faith, and it essentially helped you become the man that you are today, bro. So I commend you. That's a wonderful thing, man, because I think the thing that I respect about it is you said the only person I had to turn to was the Lord. Like, you knew that at an early age, and most people, they turn to so many other things, but you chose at an early age, even in your darkest hour. Like, it's easy for us to, we know what we're going to do when we win. We're going to keep celebrating. We're going to keep making sure we do the right thing, but it's in the loss. Like, that shows you who you really are. And losing a mom, losing a loved one, like, it's so many places that your mind can go. Why did it happen? Why me? Why didn't it happen this way? Yeah. But you chose to, even in your darkest hour, bro, to turn to God. So I just commend you, bro, because that's, it can be hard, man, whether you're a believer or not, man. You go through so many things and you deal with the ups and downs of life, but essentially that experience shaped who you are, bro. So I commend you on that, man. For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
It. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, that's just crazy. Now that you said that, I'm thinking like, just because that is, man, that's a tough battle, and not many people are, they don't come out of it all right. So, man, it's just, that's dope, man. So as we getting a little nearer to the end, if there was something that you could give to somebody, some advice that you could give to anyone out there, what would it be?
In the digital age where I think social media and the screen is just so prominent and just so dominant, if I'm being completely honest, we can't get away from the screen and everything like that, but just fall out of love with entertainment and fall into love with education. I think the reason why I am who I am is because I literally fell in love. Like, learning is fun to me. And it's led me to know things that many people don't know. Like, sometimes I talk and some people just be like, damn, bro, you're really smart. And as much as I want to take credit for it, I simply know what I know because I've learned so much. And not only just learning just pointless stuff, but things that I know that is going to be applicable to my path and my journey in life, back to that purpose thing. Yeah. Just fall in love with education, because if you don't know, then you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know how to win. Everything that we live right now is a game. And if you don't know the rules, then how can you win? How can you play it?
It's a fact. Man, that's, we got to clip that up. For sure, man. That's a good one. So I didn't tell you this part, but before we get to this, I want to, again, man, I'm all about giving people their flowers while they can smell them. And man, I don't know you very well, but just from what I see and the conversation that we've had on today, and then to seeing you at the event, man, it's just, I feel like your heart is in the right place and you're doing things not only to help yourself, but help those around you. And just seeing you from afar, I've learned some things, man. Hearing you today, I've learned a lot of things, some things that I'm gonna do more of or do less of, man. I love the part where you said, spend less time in entertainment and more time in education. And it's not necessarily I gotta look at science or math, but just educating yourself on something, man. So I think that's beautiful, bro. So just want to give you your flowers, man, because I just hearing your story, bro, and just it's powerful, man. It's powerful for sure. I see a book in the near future, man. If you already don't have one, I see that.
I actually do.
Yeah,
but
man.
I can see that on a different plane, though.
Yeah, man. So this is where I haven't done this in a while. So you are the first guest in a while that I have done this with. So this is like a rapid fire type questioning. So the first one, I'm going to start us off. So I need you to rate these from 1 to 3, 1 being the best, 3 being the least. We're going to do TV shows. So we got Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and the Jamie Foxx Show.
Oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, definitely number 1. I'm actually from Philly, so that's my hometown.
Oh, that's what's up.
Martin number 2, Jamie Foxx number 3. It's kind of tough on those last two. I'm not a huge fan of Martin, but I like Martin a little bit better than Jamie Foxx.
Okay. All right. If you had to create your own weekend comedy special, what would be 5 comedians that you would have at this event?
Mike Epps, I've actually got an opportunity to meet him personally.
Oh, that's dope.
Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Drewski, and Cat Williams. I think those 5 comedians personify my sense of humor, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. I would definitely put Kevin Hart in there. I say Cat Williams. I'm gonna go Drewski too, man. Dude, it's hilarious. Man.
Like people don't know it, but Mike Epps is hilarious. Like Mike Epps,
I was trying to not copy off you.
One
man.
of those people, man, that in person, bro, like he's not even trying to be funny. You just be dying laughing his entire time. Yeah, man.
I will put. I don't know how I ain't never seen him do a stand up since some of his old stuff, but I might throw Eddie Murphy in there. That's my third one. Got Drewski, Eddie Murphy, Cat Williams. I'll put Mike Epps in there. And I like a lot of, I feel like he slept on, but I like a lot of not Mike Epps, Damon Wayans, some of his stand-ups.
Okay.
I like his stand-ups too.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Your top 5 favorite NBA players currently right now?
Currently, LeBron James. When you go current, it get kind of tough. I've kind of checked out of the game a lot, believe it or not. So LeBron, Nikola Jokic, Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard, and probably that's tough. Maybe let's go Spider. Let's go Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't say my number 1 right now because he injured. Shout out to JT, man.
Oh man, okay.
But I'm gonna go.
JT don't go downhill enough for me.
Man, everybody give me flack about JT. They be like, man, he could be way better than he is. I'm like, hey, man, my boy got injured. He was about to drop 50.
Yeah, that's tough.
Trying to go back to repeat, but I'm gonna go Dame Lillard. I'm gonna go Ant.
Okay. I like Ant.
Jokic. Wemby.
Okay. I like Wemby too.
And Cade. Gotta rock out with Cade.
Favorite. Okay. I ain't mad at
rock
that.
Out with Cade.
He's tough, man. He a winner. I think he got a winner mentality.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping the Pistons go far this year. They cheated us last year, but it's all good, man. Hey, what can you do? Last one. If you had to be in a room with 5 inspirational people, who would they be?
Damon John, Mark Cuban. I know this is going to be controversial, but P. Diddy.
Oh man,
his mind beyond all the scandals, all of the sexual stuff. His mind for business is just next level. Master P and Jay-Z.
That's a good list. That's a good list. For me, I would go. I would definitely want to talk to Kevin Hart. I feel like the way he's mastered the comedy game and like how he put people on. I would say MJ.
Okay. MJ as in Michael Jordan?
Yep.
Okay.
Allen Iverson, just because of his influence.
Met him personally too.
Eric Thomas.
Okay. E.T.
And Inky Johnson.
Okay. That's a good list.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
Yeah, man. So before we get out of here, I want to give you the opportunity to share a quote with us that you may love or a quote that you live by.
Ooh. I got one that come to mind. How you do anything is how you do everything. Don't think that you can excel at one thing and be subpar in another. If you're going to be a winner, be an A player in every single aspect of your life, as a parent, as a partner, as an employee, even if you washing dishes and doing custodial work, man, you do the best you can, even if you hate it, until you have the opportunity to do something greater. You're going to embed it in your DNA to be a winner at everything you do. And that's anybody that knows me knows I'm competitive as hell, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like losing. You're not going to beat me, even if it's to the door.
Yeah.
I want to win is because of how I do everything. Is how I do anything is how I do everything.
Yes, sir, man. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to the converSAYtion podcast. We'll see y'all same time, same place.